It's only gonna get better before it gets worse. Well, with Batman, who's also glorified as being a Christ figure, his night was darkest before the dawn too. But where's the silver lining in that? I mean, Trump hasn't done a briefing, did his first briefing in 60 days, only wore a mask once. That's it, since 5 months since it started. Whereas Oprah attends B. Obama's campaign or inauguration and cries on cue. I mean, talk about silver linings, you know? I mean, night is not darkest before the dawn, you know? We already know. We've already come to the bottom of that. You know, how far is your hand down the Pringles can? I don't really mean this racistly. I don't know if that's a word. But for some reason, I just finished I Am Not Your Negro by James Baldwin. And even if it's him or James Earl Jones, who actually did Darth Vader, but he played Moonlight Graham in Field of Dreams. And that's another kind of parable or reflection of the times is that Shoeless, who ended up dying, oh no, Lou Gehrig's disease wasn't Shoeless Joe. Shoeless Joe was Joe DiMaggio. And that's who, they sang that song. And here's to you, Joe DiMaggio. I think that was Clapton, I'm not really sure. But to my point, any black person, when you ask them how to pronounce Reich, you know, like the Third Reich, they always say with an SH. Have you noticed that? This is a November. The chips will fall. Tyler Durden said it. Let the chips fall where they may. Tupac said it. Leave the puzzle on the floor. Joker said it. When the chips come down, the people will see who they really are. November. Rump. Do you know what a rump is? Have you seen Dennis the Menace? Women need Trump in office. That this female culture is unprecedented. And the chips are going to fall in November. And you're going to wish that you had somebody to hold accountable for your actions. Because women love Trump. Really the only good one, the black cherry. If you try the soft seltzer, it's only 4% alcohol. But I agree with Billie Eilish, who told people that keep on saying all lives matter or whatever, stick figures matter, to shut the fuck up. A lot of cops are running over these protesters, and that's the whole thing, is that a lot of these people have infractions, priors, and this is just their way of, it's a vindication for being, it's like a vendetta, you know, where they want to repay a debt because they think because we pay taxes that we own cops. And people aren't realizing that when you see a cop, you know, it's hard. It may be difficult for you to establish who your best friend is. My best friend is easy to narrow down, to whittle down to a fine point, because 2 reasons. He falls on the floor laughing if you ask him to put in Visine. And the other reason is I told him I gave away my heart. I give away pieces of my heart every time I say goodbye. And he said I'm a fucking faggot. Listen, you motherfuckers. There's no difference between London and Britain and the UK and the Britannica Encyclopedia. If you want to have my baby, okay. You want to have a baby? No. Do I want to have a baby? No. Get your fucking facts straight, fuckface. Between black women, and by black I also mean exotic, You know, these women that think they're exotic, you could sniff them out from light years away. They telling you that it's not about the money, right? Feeding you that reverse psychology and fast forward, just spinning circles around your head. Between them, these exotics, so to speak, with the caramel skin, you know, that hue pretty much is an umbrella term for any woman. But then there you got the fat, curvy ones that just twerk all day, garner all the attention like a proton pack, and they're just out of the loop. So the single white female is the point of no return. So today is, I'm ahead of the curve. I've been reading this since April Fool's Day. Pleasure of Hatred. It's funny, it has the word red in it, right? Hate red. And what is red known for? Lipstick. I don't know where I'm going with that. Well, in the Arabic language, Mohammed, Hamid is red. That's the color, that's the word for the color red, Hamid. So Mohammed means more red, more, because darkness doesn't necessarily have to be black, because rage is usually anger, but for the Hulk it's green. So anyway, I got less than 2 hours, and now I'm just walking up to my post. So yo, it's Ram to the Z here. I also go by Radio Automatic. If you abbreviate RAM, that's my radio personality. And you know it because they call me Car Ramrod. I'm one of the Starship Troopers. Anyway, I'm illegally parked. I'm just about to sign in. They're pouring cement behind me. I just started my new shift today. I'm working an 11-hour shift at the park over here, Ferguson Park. So that way I can make payday as long as I get some hours in. But I'm officially, permanently posted at a retirement asylum. So check back in with me, or keep in touch with me, and stay tuned. Guess what this is? Guess what this is? It is oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The return to innocence. If you want to start, say hi. X's without the X's without the O's is like kisses without the hugs. After all, why do we should have recreational sports, but why do we have organized sports? Once things are broken up into brackets and leagues, and I don't remember which comedian said it's, Lenny Bruce maybe. Once you start becoming a statistic, even if you win, everyone's gonna call you a cheater. Hello everybody. I was hired on 9/11 as a security guard. I've been watching a lot of cops lately. I was watching an episode today where a cop found a bottle of lube and asked the black guy how he puts it on his hair. So, usually black people use salad dressing. But anyway, I love the bonds. You know, every brother has his day. And a brother's love is a brother's love, to quote Gone in 60 Seconds. I love all my brothers, and all of you are my brothers and sisters, and I'm a good cop. Yo, I've been back in my sleep cycle. 11 hours a day. So I was averaging 3, so I'm tripling that. I used to work in a hotel 2 years, and now I've been staying in a hotel for about 2 months. I've been working at my new outfit, General Security, where I actually look like a general, for 2 weeks. So I'm on the payroll. And I lost my last post at the health clinic, which is very dangerous, so it actually works out in my favor. Why smash and pass when you could smush and beat around the bush? When you could crush a soda can and then eat her tush. I make a lot of jokes that life used to be really simple. But basically, when VHS started, you would always watch these movies and you'd always wonder who or what is a producer. The movie Low Down Dirty Shame has more producers than actors. Isn't it a sign of the times? When people who are trying to write scripts, playing doctor with vehicles, because that's what they call Mission Impossible 75, right? They would call it a vehicle for crew. In 2001, in Iowa City, I was going to have a community college, but I attended the university, the Iowa City Hawkeyes. Right now, I'm at the Laguna Hills Hawks High School, but it's really not so much of a difference, or it's a microcosm. No, I don't really know. It's just, I'm just kind of, I'm just surprised. This is very similar to a community college, and it's just a little bit perplexing that I'm a Hawkeye graduate and I'm at the high school of Hawks, which is actually much nicer. This kind of goes off the Roy Chung joke where he said at his wedding he only served allergies. He didn't care if you're a vegetarian or so I guess, what is the difference between a low end and a high end venue? Is low end food for thought and a high end has surf and turf? Hey, Papa Meech. Oh man, it's nice. It's really comforting when you're not smoking and you're not worried about cops not intervening, but trying to, not frisk, but just kind of just popping up over your six. That's what they call your shoulder. But anyway, what time are we going to Ada's tomorrow? Will you let me know? Extrapolate overt inferences engineered by drawings. Sorry, I tried to get it right when I clicked 420 and I couldn't time it right, so I just had a good line I wanted to. Engineers extrapolate overt inferences from drawings. It's true, actually. I can never be more upset at our lack of education and intelligence side by side, because a revolution is when people take power into their own hands, right? And that's the state that we're in right now, right? We could all agree on that, right? Power to the people. So why is it that comedians take a piece of paper and study it and create a routine over and over and over and try to change the world with 10 jokes maybe, or 10 minutes worth of jokes? Why can't you back me up? Let's start the never repeat a joke revolution. I have never used the same routine. I am a comedian's comedian. I am the comic's comic. Look up never repeat a joke. Let's start a revolution. All right, we're all in this together. Fuck comedians, man. More people need to read the Mein Kampf. Not because you're dumb, because you are. Not that you're dumb, because you are. Waiting for Superman. That's the fucking Hitler sign. Waiting for Superman. How dareth thee? How does Hitler tie his shoes? And little Nazis, oldest joke in the book, and probably the last one on the opposite end of the cover. Because, you know, cover to cover, right? I have actually read and written the adult joke book. But anyway, if you've read the Mein Kampf, you will read that he's got hit by mustard gas, he has one nut, he slept with a prostitute, and that's why he hates women. Hitler allegedly, I don't know. I think he married Frau Barbissina, his cousin. But why do people get to make fun of Nazis all the time? And then, if you want to hear a Hitler joke, like, hey Siri, tell me a Hitler joke. That's not funny, and frankly, there aren't any. That's really the only Hitler joke I know. To quote Dennis Leary, my semen is so strong, I blow a load, and in the morning I wake up and I have a child looking at me. Whereas, it takes my sister 9 months to take a crap. So, this is me. There used to be a Jewish guy that was on Comedy Central that had a talk show. It was about on a $50 budget. So this is me doing an interview to the drunken sailor. I think drunken master? Johnny Depp. So, Johnny Depp, why did you get incest sensed when Diego from Blow, Diego, I don't remember his last name, said to you, go sell half grams to your cousin? Then you took out the gun, remember? You put it, and then you shot it, but there was no bullets in there. Give me an answer, man. And Veronica decides to die. Sarah Michelle Gellar, or Buffy, the girl from The Ring, who pulls out a wig from her mouth in The Ring, if you've ever seen that, where they cheated off Poltergeist, where you could crawl into the movie. She falls in love, as Veronica, she falls in love with the mute guy, because she said, oh, I want a man who doesn't talk. And my coach Sonny always said that as a boxer, he always picked up the most women because he never talked. He told me that's how I should pick up women. I don't understand that, because women say, you know, when you stop looking for them, then we'll come to you. But, shoot, there was one more comparison. Pick up on the hiccup, and I'm gonna break your back if you stick up. That Moye really pumps my nads. You remember that from, that was Bender, right when he ripped up that book in the library. But today, he would say, that juicy Smoye, or Jesse Smoye, really pumps my nads. I don't know, I'm just kind of playing wordplay, which was, wordplay is basically the life, the bread and butter of SNL. I've been watching behind the scenes about when they started in '74, and apparently Bill Murray punched Chevy Chase in the face because he told him he was going to land a space shuttle on his face because he has so much pock marks on his face. Who do you think you are, Frankie Valli, or some kind of a small shot? Go home to your ready-made whores. That's all you're good for. 1, 2. Henry Hill's coming for you. 3, 4. He wants his ready-made horse. Shoot, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, did you see those pictures of Johnny Depp eating ice cream and falling asleep? That's being used against him in a court of law. I have done so much worse falling asleep. I've had my period on New Year's, pissed on myself, on a couch, on a lazy boy. And once a long time, not too long ago, a nigga like myself had the strong arm of a hoe. Here's the rest of it. She cut off my horns. Used to be horns right there. That's all brand new. That's a fold-off felt couch. This, it fell on my friend's head. This whole marble piece. And I got Buddha. She tried stealing that mirror. I told her no. Brand new rugs. Look at this. All brand new. All brand new sheets. We got between two ferns up in here. Brand new mattress. Got just one hole in it. Because she wasn't satisfying me, obviously. But that's what I gotta do. Get back in those clothes. So I'm just gonna go and hang out with my friend Angel, who's pretty much a cherub. And I'll get back to you. I'm gonna hang. Hello, it's 11:11. I'm doing a gender reveal. I had published. It's my XL. That's the author today. I mean, this is my 11th book since I started a guard. I started to be a guard at 911, which is what you call when you need an officer, right? I have the right to. I don't have the right to arrest. So I don't like to say officer, but this is my office. So if you like to, I have the meets, RBS. That's what it's. If you want to look this up, it's under digital, email, ebook editions, just out now. This is the pre-release. I'll give you a copy if you like. Just it's called Teddy Without the Grams. If you're interested, just retweet this or whatever you do. What you don't know can't hurt you. That's for the 2-bit gag reel. Jesus will not forgive you because he knows exactly what you're doing. What kills you isn't going to make you stronger because it's killing you. So forgive them for they know what they're doing. No. You can't be forgiven for malcontent. And what you do know can hurt you. And what you don't know can also hurt you. I think it's so cute when our dads say, no matter their religion, they'll say, well, I can't even take care of myself. How am I supposed to take care of you? Because usually dads have their moms on their side, so it's usually more of the son that would say that, right? I can't take care of myself. How am I supposed to take care of you? It reminds me of my new gig here. It's my training day. So those guys over there, those pedestrians are asking me, hey, you work here? I said, yeah, it's my training day. I'm Denzel. So now everyone's calling me Denzel, but they're not realizing that that's from the movie Training Day, Denzel Washington. I'm really sick and tired of this co-miking. You think that co means to work in unison, but you're on stage alone. Your comedians constantly accuse others of selective hearing. My eyes are wide open. Do you know why I'm not successful? It has nothing to do with my edge or I'm too short and things going over my head or an inability to be witty. The reason why is because Facebook for the first 12 months did not allow never repeat a joke. Twitter removed never repeat a joke, the handle, 50,000 followers. YouTube deleted 17 videos. And people want to clown me and saying I don't have what it takes. Do you know that? I work for the Arab Daily News. Hello, it's your number one dad here. It's been 3 days since I've been in the room, asleep. Since I slept 5 hours in the last 2 days, so intermittently. And got my pamper wipes, my espresso. Just wanted to give a shout out. Got my tax refund. Number one dad here. That tax refund, I spent $14 on a fine this morning. And I haven't only eaten an egg salad in 3 days. And I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight. Somewhere in Vista. Well, in my car. I don't know where. I know where I'm sleeping, but not know where I'm sleeping, you know? There used to be a time, believe it or not, for all you boomers, snowflake, millennials, Falcons, Star Wars fans, etc., when the president meant, for example, the Kennedys, I mean, they would run the show. They dated movie stars. They were friends with everybody. They could walk in public. They were technically Elvis, but they just weren't singers. They were just labeled presidents. And now, anytime we become BC, we pout. And I think it's making us stronger and more immune as a community. And not just a local community, or domestic, but also international as a community. And I think that if we bandy together, we'll pull through. We only have 2 more months till Trump leaves, but I'm also calling it. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? No, but I'll kiss you. Let's get off mothers. I just got off yours. What's that movie called? Bad. Well, it's called Goodwill, but no one really goes to the Goodwill. You know? Oh, that's why it's called Goodwill. Because it's good. Because Matt Damon shops at the Goodwill. Alright, now I got it. Wasabi. It's your favorite ginger here. I mean, gingers have no soul. I don't have red hair. I mean, I do have sunburned hair. But I definitely have no soul. So that's why I say I'm a ginger. Men aren't allowed to be sensitive. So you could just say I'm insensitive. I'm across the street from my work. I'm starting today. Believe it or not, I'm going to be guarding Diamond 8 Cineplex. And right next door is a ward. I have to make sure no one is going to be trying to jump. Akin to Happy Gilmore when the Mr. Lady, when he killed the Mr. Lady. That's technically my job. I got to be clocking in about 60 minutes. Wildemar is over there, right across the street. And I just got my size pants. They're a little bit big. Maybe selling out is good. Have you ever thought of that? Where maybe you're the only audience as of right now. When I look at you and I record this for later, maybe selling out is just breaking even. Maybe that's all that really people want. Because that's what I've learned being in Tinseltown, which is also being a silver lining. You know, I mean, the cloud that's what you upload on the internet, right? But uploading is the same as downloading. And I don't mean to psychobabble or ramble or filibuster, because I guess that's going to be done away with soon anyway. But maybe selling out is what we need to do. You know, where you're your only audience, and when you're in debt, you look at that as a positive. Hello. Just some exploits from my job. Yesterday was my training day, orientation. I didn't complain that I trained myself, or I was able to show myself the ropes without lynching, without anyone getting lynched. So today I officially have to lock these gates and stay here until 10, and I'm going to be locked inside. I'm staying in a suite, a family suite, but it's only me. The room that I checked in, the just regular loft, or a loft, but the other room I was staying in was much smaller, only $5 cheaper, so I might as well get bang for the buck. And this is the greatest landmark in this city. What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart, Tina, when a heart can be broken? That's some fucking depressing ass lyrics. So just checking in, I'm sorry, at Fairfield Inn. That's the street name, and that's actually where I'm gonna be staying. It's 53 miles from my post, so don't ask me why I drove halfway across the county, but it's actually I'm understanding why. Okay, he finally stopped. As I said, everybody behind me is pulled over because, that's what you're supposed to do when there's cops. I think he might be on drugs or tweaking or wigging or whacked out, or I don't know what the word would be, but not making any sense. Everybody get down tonight. I missed my Harlan impression from Half Baked. 7 little chipmunks slipping on a branch, eating a lot of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. Step into my office. Why? Because you're fucking fired. Hey, I got an idea how to be a millionaire. Instead of 7-minute abs, how about 6-minute abs? So I'm just checking in I know I'm a showboat. Checking out all the pine trees snuck into my car. Checking out of here, the Family Health Center. Thank you for your support, and I'm going to be working a 13-hour shift. Once a long time, not too long ago, a nigga like myself had the strong arm a hoe. But not a hoe in the sense of having a pussy, cause this pussy had no sense. Now try and push me. That was Jay-Z, that wasn't me. You can't get mad. I'm just thinking about my ex. So I married an axe murderer. No, if you're thinking about dating a single mom, turn around and kiss your ass where the sun don't shine. Kiss between your legs where whatever. Because this was a Mrs. Cleaver and I was a knuckle sandwich, and we weren't getting anywhere. But her name was Venus, so I had to give it a shot. What up, Doug? That's easily the best part of the movie Snatch. It's not when that lesbians go down on each other and they clip the snake's boots, but when the Irish, Brad Pitt does an Irish accent in 2 movies actually, but in this particular one he calls the dogs Doug. So, alright man, I don't know where I was going with that. I had something really important to say, so just give me a second and let me refresh my memory. The hand of God are not playing cards. The right hand of God is Trump, because Trump is a playing card. So When we say in California, hit the deck, we mean be careful how you play your cards when you have a trump in hand, because the hand of God dealt you cards, a certain number of cards in your deck to play your hand, and there's no coming back from that. So if Trump is a left hand of God, we need to realize that he's a man with many tree rings, and don't mistake the left hand of God for playing cards or the right hand of Trump for tree sap, because it's your hand. It's too early, I guess. How that one's going right now. It's too early. Come back later, as the Indians say at the marketplace. Come again. Some people don't believe in Mary Poppins. It was on the Is It True or False or whatever, the Mythbusters. They said you cannot fly or float with an umbrella. My sister, oh, that's not so good. I gotta recut my hair. My sister, however, because I beg to differ, put a grocery bag around her neck and jumped off a van. And I thought it was the flyest shit I ever saw. She said she was 4 years old and she ran, she leapt, and she said, "I'm Superwoman." And you don't want to know what happened from there, but it was very similar to Cape Fear. Oh, yo, there's always an audio delay. I should start doing my Drew Barrymore impression, because every time you watch Drew Barrymore, there's always it's like she should be in a one of those kung fu movies with David Carradine, because that's how there's that little gap where she speaks and then you hear the noise after. There's a sound delay, maybe it's called, or closed captioning. So to my point, The Professor by Johnny Depp, he says that Captain Ahab in Moby Dick travels the world, and the moral of Moby Dick is the world doesn't change. You could travel the world, and you're the only one that's going to change. It's not really a funny story, but I just posted on Facebook about borders, because the first time I ever saw a woman squirt, I didn't know that they could squirt. So I called my uncle. I said, "Man and women could squirt?" And I reported. It was Breon Benson. That was her name. And I reported her. I said, "What is this girl? I don't think this is normal." To Naughty America. Obviously, I never heard back. But it kind of reminds me the same way of how I just found a blunt. It was rolled in tobacco mixed with a little bit of grass, and it had a steno pad. That was the paper. So I just put it in my pocket. Yo, these are actually stories from the heart. Kevin is a fucking idiot, and you should all unfollow him, saying he's gonna smash a dollhouse on his son's back if he was gay. That whole gang, that whole black, Ja Rule has a good point. People should stop saying the black word or the N word, because they act like gangs, and that shit has to be. They need to put a plug on that ASAP, because those are not queens and kings. Anyway, I'm going to the Hemet Behavioral Health, probably the most dangerous post I've been. The last time I was in Hemet, I saw my black ex-girlfriend, who was just a fucking serial rapist. But been staying at the hotel for 2 months. Some people say being turned up. Drake says that you're off the deep end, that means being off the deep end. Marcus Burnett, he says being turned down is similar to the West Coast, you know. We all live by the ocean, we're all quiet on the western front, we're all turned down. You know, it's not just a movie for a reason. Being turned down means that you know that sleep is the best drug. But turning up your nose, if you've ever watched Mean Streets, it was the first movie by Martin Scorsese. And Robert De Niro screams, "Don't turn up your nose, it blocks out the light." And I really think, you know, me and your baby mama, me and your sister, me and your baby mama, your baby mama miss you 'cause you know you're mad. Man, I can't remember. I'm trying to sing a song. You know your baby mama. Free rim jobs. Free rim jobs. I just thought I'd say, I'm not gonna accept my blackness. I'm not gonna say that I'm white anymore. I'm just gonna accept being a darkie. I'm gonna accept that as a Middle Eastern, I mean, they do say the sand N-word, but I'm not gonna act like I'm white anymore. Not because it's an act, but because I've been acting not white. I'm just gonna accept my blackness. And I think everything will fall into place from there. Just accept who I am. What is conversion therapy? Conversion therapy is when you smile on one side of your face.
Trust. Very important.
Conversion therapy is a fluke. It's when people don't want to see you happy.
Making a breakthrough with a client.
Conversion therapy is putting a target on your back.
Stop their all fixation from
Not selling out or exposing, you know, too much exposition or exploitation or going off on a limb, but it's a fluke. Be fly like a bat out of heaven. Don't be fly like a bat out of hell. If the coronavirus taught us anything, put all your eggs in one basket when egging people on. You don't have to be Helena Handbasket. Just if you're gonna egg someone on, put all your eggs in one basket so you could throw all your eggs at once. And again, be fly. Most brown people, I don't know if you feel excluded or included. Men since the 80s have been known not to be able to express their emotions. So I write, and so as a writer, people think that, oh, okay, this guy's different. I mean, I am more myopic, that's why I close one eye, kind of like the Monopoly guy. But, I'm like a Wingstop. I, just pop some melanin, and this is what you look like when you work 6 days a week, approximately, about 54 hours, give or take 6 hours. Lou, the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, question, Raymond. Remember when Tyler Durden put the gun to his head? Veterinarian. Anyway, good morning. This is what I wake up to every day. Well, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Well, it was a lot nicer 10 minutes ago. Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be here for sunrise. I mean, the ladies here exquisite. Truly exquisite. The eye candy. So I was just bought a 12 pack of Modelo's, and they charged me $17 with tax. These people get so hungry, these little fuckers. So I was really pissed off about that because I should have got my receipt. This is George Bush. XI. I think it's pronounced Z. Because there's so many Georges, right? Jorge's in the bushes. Who throws a shoe? He ducks first. Who throws a shoe? The fucking Arabs do, that's who. Who throws a shoe? Anybody with an internal processing unit. IPU. That's been my morning. 8 hour at an airline. They got propellers in those crates. Gave me a tour. I'm scanning. I'm doing, they call it hyperthermal imaging, I think it's called. So that's my day. That's my Wednesday. Baby, I got my suit and tie. Baby, I got my suit and tie. Show you a good time. I think that's all he says, right? Got a Homer Simpson hair. Look at that. An escaped convict. That's what I look like. I just beat up a guard, threw on his uniform. My badge doesn't even match my company, and I just jumped in the back of this resort. This room is open. It's not supposed to be. Room 144. I never got access to the back, so I jumped the fence, and then they told me the access code was 2415. It's not working. I have more kick than a football coach's baby. I have more bite than an alcoholic undergoing gastric bypass. I have more bounce than a flapjacks. I have more kicks than a box of cereal. I got more hanger. I'm more hungry than Incredible Hulk ripping a bong. I have more zest than soap. I have more bounce than a ball on a trampoline. I could ball more than the Supreme Court. I have more pull than your pop. Hello everybody, get down tonight. Just thought I'd give a holler. I'm patrolling for my first time by a beach, and I don't have a key, the key entry. I was patrolling a resort across that highway, and now I'm on the other side today. 5 days in Carlsbad, 1 meal a day approximately. So cleansing or fasting, I don't know. You tell me which one. Okay, well, thank you. Conniving mutt for a butt slut into the Nebuchadnezzar. That's a bullshit ass statement. You cannot upload information into your brain and learn how to fly a helicopter. The internet is for shit. All the tutorials on the internet are for shit. Okay? Let me rephrase that. You conniving mutt for a butt slut into the Nebuchadnezzar. There is no net neutrality. What is conversion therapy? Conversion therapy is when you smile on one side of your face. It's like, because it's conversion therapy is just when your two ass cheeks meet your half ass. Because a half ass means you have no ass cheeks, right? Conversion therapy, what is it? Conversion therapy is when people put a target on your back because you have a good smile. It happens. People don't like to see people happy, man. So fuck the Patriots. Yo, Mike Lowry, who did he impersonate? Because he said, you be you, and you be you. Are they both named Mike? Because that's actually the title of my latest prose, my prosaic, because it's technically a graphic novel, but it's like a website. Have you ever seen Harry Potter where the magazine comes to life? That's the title. It's my 11th. I just published yesterday Teddy Without the Grams. It's on ebook, $2.99. And then today I started The Bomb Is in the Mic. Wait a minute, that's fork tender. Because people don't really understand tenure and legal tender. So that's kind of why I try to expand your horizons. If you think of the mind as a mirage. But get back to what I was saying. Bad Boys 3. My favorite line is, I often talk about Louis C.K. How we like to build up people to see him fall. And the taller they are, the louder the collapse, because they say, well, if a tree falls in the forest, no one's going to hear it. But what he said, well, he had daughters, so it should be punishment enough. His blanching, his humility, his biting lip. But he wanted to end all production of porn, and I agree with that, because women here are pointing the fingers this way, like this, every which way except for themselves. They have all of this advice, but what that does is add vice. There's vices and there's virtues, and telling people what to do instead of, yo, this cop is driving from left to right to left to right. This has been about 10 miles. He just keeps going left to the middle lane to the right lane. I don't understand it. Left to the right, and nobody knows what to do. Everybody's turned, waiting for this guy to stop doing loops. Let me start over. Take two. Action. On the set in my new show called In Other News. Flu not, I don't dig on swine. I am the swine. Flu not included. Swine flu. Because I don't know many swine that fly. In France they say, excusez-moi. In red light district, they say, excuse me. And in Europe, they say, excusey. Yo, just reading about troops in Okinawa. Because I've heard about this don't ask, don't tell. It technically gave troops an easy way out and a get out of jail free card, because if you were straight and you told your superior you were gay, then you were let out. You were dishonorably discharged, but without the dishonorably. So now I'm hearing that in Okinawa, people are getting raped, and at U.S. embassies all over, Marines are just getting drunk and driving. And then we have people like ESPN wearing pink frickin' shoes, and all these reporters. If you remember Marilyn Manson, he said, all that news does is feed you fear. Fear, 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 fear. You're a consumer. And all these pretty women with way too tight of clothes are the one that's... Yo, reporting to you live from a very, very vacant lakefront, as you could see. Been open for 2 hours now and 3 minutes. There were some ducks, and unfortunately I left all my tortilla chips at home because I know they would have ate the hell out of that. But yeah, this is the first for this. Yesterday I checked out of my hotel. I was gonna stay there for a few nights, but there was ants, and just didn't appreciate all the tweakers. So I have some mail coming in. My medicine is being sent from my doctor, so to the Corona Inn, and I'm not going to say there's a lot of tweakers there, so I don't know what's going to... The black swan green had feathers. The black swan green could topple Joker in a dance-off. The Lord Star from... not Starship Troopers, what's it called? The Guardians of the Galaxy, I think? He wouldn't even win in a dance-off. Well, Joker would probably beat him in a dance-off, but in Silver Linings Playbook, the girl beat the boy in the dance-off, right? Is Gemini... have you ever noticed Gemini, the sign, sounds very eerily similar to Jiminy? You know, the cricket. So, those are my 2 cents. Which is the most honest art form? Is ass bag singular or plural? Let's see. What could go better with a whole bunch of ducks and rice cakes? I'm guarding the county of Riverside, as you can see, and it's not so much observe and report with Seth Rogen, where he rides on a little scooter, or 21 Jump Street, where Jonah Hill rides a tricycle, or even, I think, Santa Claus, Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger played a cop, or it's not so much Starsky and Hutch, where that hound dog was, you know, I'm not so much a canine. I think of myself as a detective because, for example, my partner over here, his name is Ruby, and I asked her, hey, what's your name? And I knew, somehow I knew. I always know, if you allow me to guess your name, you might need to give me one little hint, like the first letter, but that was... If this isn't a hoot. Ah, it just flew away, little bastard. I know you're not going to believe me, but there was a snow owl, and it swiveled its head in 360 degrees. And I'm not even lying. Similar to that snow owl that ate a cork in Dumb and Dumber. I couldn't get it out in time. But, yeah, I don't really have much else. I, started a new outfit, Generals, and, people think I'm a sheriff. I say, yeah, I'm Omar Sharif. Let's see if I try to find that owl. 3 movies with 3 comedians talked about coloring pictures funny. I'll drop them now. The Goddamn Pen is Blue, Jim Carrey. Dave Chappelle painted the duck green. Chappell, however you say his name. And Billy Madison painted the duck blue. That reminds me of my favorite song by Eiffel 65. I'm blue, blah blah dee dee blah. Blue are the feelings inside and out. Lessons from the 80s. Snoop Dogg is not as big as you think. He had a reality show. He has WGGN. He had a family reality show. Then he had a show with that woman, that Martha Stewart, who went to jail. And he started smoking weed. And then he's cool in Half Baked, but that's really the only acting he's ever done. He was a cripple in Training Day, but paid the cost to be the boss, tanked. You know, after The Chronic, he never really did anything, but Denzel Washington, his first time on screen in Glory, and then also his first time on screen with the white guy when he was with Tom Hanks and he played Philadelphia. That was some really strong black entertainment. Also, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. It is an extremely, I'm not sure about the album, but I'm telling you, that movie is one of the greatest African American. Still don't remember what my last snap was gonna be, but how about this one as a replacement? Who would win in a fight? Marmaduke from Alakazam or Babadook from Kalamazoo? Answer, or just sit on it. Bum 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 bum. That officer's eye fucking me right now. Because what do I know? I'm just an officer too, right? So, question. If you were to name the first porn star that came to the top of your head, would it be your favorite porn star? Would it not be your favorite porn star? And would it not be yourself? Are you not your favorite porn star? Answer below. I have a whack flow. That means that maybe I know a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend named Flo who's killed, whacked. Or maybe she's whacking off. Maybe Flo is my delivery. A whack flow. It's all about the comma, son. The New Orleans black oleander with a soul as cool as ice is not a stone's throw away. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. I was born yesterday, like Goodman. You seen John Goodman in Born Yesterday? Because the only difference between my gen, the 80s, and your gen, the Y2K, boomer, the 2020s, is a few pigments, really. It's just not contrast between black and white, but being able to see not 1,204 colors, but 24,000. We're in the Ultra 4K world, universe, omniverse, millennium, where the more colorful you are, the more grandiose, more grandiosity. I think it's hilarious how senioritis, have you ever heard that term? Senioritis is technically saying that you could say she's a hot number, or you could say I have your number, or now it's hashtag. But I'm just watching. I just learned this new phrase about being dialed in, and that's really the only thing that people from the 90s, from the 19th century, missed out on. And also, there was a show called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. But nowadays, it's straight eye for the queer guy. Tell me if you heard this one. I already heard this one. Really, we need to start throwing, instead of Rotten Tomatoes, we need to start pelting comedians who turn hecklers. We need to start pelting them with peanut brittle. Because that's what they are. They're brittle. What up, you tweakers? It's Porky the Rind here. When you call me a pig, I guess that would be demoted. But I just ran over a pair of dentures. All the 13th teeth shot in every direction except for north. And I opened it 30 seconds late today only. Oh shoot, wrong way, sorry. And there were still 6 cars waiting. So, that's about all she wrote. As I had once said on Skinamax. Gonna be just setting up shop here for 6 more hours. Family is money and blood is a big expense. The Kardashians are learning it the hard way. They're flat out broke. All these housewives and Maserati families, the Italian mobsters, they're all flat broke. If you ever watched Trump, he's actually extremely personable, amicable, and the news are in the business of making money, which means blood is our biggest expense. They're greedy. Greedy like a pig. You know what pigs do? When they eat human beings, they eat their bones. Okay, they could go through a 60-pound body in 3 seconds. That's why these newsies are greedy as a pig. Keep your name out of Trump's mouth. Quit budgeting his advertisements. He's been getting free advertisements since his dad left. I'm adding a layer of protection to the county of Riverside. And it's not so much Paul Blart, Mall Cop, and it's not so much Observe and Report with Seth Rogen, where he rapes Anna Faris. It's very similar. It's not so much like Jarheads or Dismantling Bombs like Hurt Locker or The Specialist, but it's a lot like The Maltese Falcon, where I'm a funny and dead. That's what Funny or Die should be called. If you all know, Will Ferrell spearheads that website and removed the sign-in ability. Anybody that has an account has been terminated.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Jefferson Avenue
and
turn left.
What ultimately Funny or Die has led to is people being easily more persuaded by advertisements, although the majority of advertisements are shot in handheld cameras. Why? What up, my H to the is O, V to the is A, Jehovah's Witness, that's the damn anthem. Yo, I just started my new shift today. This is my personal blog, not for anyone's eyes. I was asked to work until 1, and then 5, and then 9, so it is 9 o'clock. I'm here at Spring Hill on Compton Avenue in Corona. 2 things you don't want to miss. Compton with the C-19. Those sound very dangerous duo. But anyhow, I have a package waiting for me from Lion's Breath, from one of the Big Ten schools. There used to be a famous porn shop called the Lion's Den. So ultimately, I mean, that's where I'm at. And the Lion's Den with the Lion's Breath, just like Daniel, which is my middle name, by the way. And I respectfully accept my fervor. Respectfully accept my fervor for always saying yes. Imagine doing an incline bench press on an escalator going down, because the thrills and shrills de-escalate on a decline when you're ballooned by elation and inflated by, well, what inflates you? Are you a Lego My Ego kind of a person where everything you're based on validity, you know, ballooned by validity? Okay, last one. So this is what happened last time. The delivery man comes and leaves the fucking food on the front door. There's bugs inside. Last time they left a hamburger pineapple, and I fucking ate it, and there was a roly-poly, an earwig, a gnat, and an ant. So it was like a Timon and Pumbaa, where it's like a Kuna Matata, you know, eat some fucking bugs. But anyway, got 8 more hours, and then I'm meeting my girl. I met an 800-pound girl. Well, she's 400 pounds now, because she had gastric bypass. And I just porked her tonight. And I'm gonna pork her again when I get off work. She's very good to me. So that's what headline. It's supposed to be a Drake song, and he's supposed to be representing the streets. Y'all don't know what's going on in the streets, all right? I just read a headline that said Afro-Americans aren't representing the Muslim population. Did you know there's only 190,000 pure blood Arabs in the US? Did you know that? And there's 6 billion people. So we're like 0.008 of the population. And now you're gonna say that we're part of the Black Lives Matter and I'm not representing? Come on, get a grip. Y'all have no idea what's going on in these streets, alright? Get out in the streets, feel the heat. The noise, the street heeds the noise, as the Smashing Pumpkin said. The street heeds the urgency of sound. Listen to, if you don't know Billy Corgan, I'm watching Scared Straight, and one of the Southern officers runs up on Dontavion, the cutest little. They say there's no words that start with N and end with G, but he's the cutest little big nut ever. And he says, "Stupidity is a mistake. A mistake is when you get a fat girl pregnant." And that reminds me of Big Worm. Because he says, "Play with my money is like playing with my emotions." But that's not right. With every oddball stacked in my favor, savor the flavor. There's more than 31 Zoetrope. Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors.
In 2 miles.
Well, why choose to be salty then?
Hot Springs Road.
Well, because ice cream tastes good on sea salt blocks, which comes from the Dead Sea. So when I put on a beauty mask, it isn't blackface. Hey, Mom. I had a dream. I entered Borders. Remember the one by Orland Park? And, no, it was the same setup, but I think it was Sprouts. And I grabbed a tortilla chip from the sample from those tubs that open and close, and then a manager came and said, you have a restraining order and you're not allowed 100 yards away from here. And I said, well, just take my money and take $5 for the tortilla chip, and you don't have to file a restraining order, and you could just take my word for it. I won't. Have you seen this? Stories from the heart. These are stories from the heart. Die hard. Get hard. Not a sequel. That guy's such a fucking runt, dude. Women say they like to be choked, but I mean, I would guarantee you Kevin Hart is a squeaky toy that would just love to be choked the fuck out. Snuff that flame. And just to close, have you ever heard of Bumfuck Egypt? Or is it bum? I'm not really sure. It sounds like a double positive, that's all. It doesn't take a political system. First of all, I'm learning Spanish, and there's more words in Spanish. Okay, and they've conquered way more countries. I mean, there's about 30 different 30 different species, genuses of the Spaniard race. And so, California is Mexico, and the United States took over Puerto Rico, and Cuba. I don't think that they're so much Spanish, but it doesn't take a bunch of cheating Americans for us to know what the problem is. The problem is that we're pampering ourselves, and we're not real. We don't know how to back up what we say, and we pin the tail on the donkey, which is Trump, but we're gonna miss him, and ultimately it's a lot. Look at my dad hair. I got your gift, a flashlight. I just don't know if you need it. Do you need one? Let me know, okay? Why is comedy now about being able to offend the most people, casting your net, so to say, and offending the most amount of people with the least amount of effort? Is that the American dream to you? Answer below. Again, these are trying times. Taxing as taxidermy, imposing these tariffs on humorists, which will become eventually terrorists, unless they have their own column like I do. But again, why is it that we're in a state of the union where people are offending with the least amount of effort and are being dubbed comedians? If you've ever watched Ed Harris in The Abyss, he said he slaps his wife and says, "Bitch, you never backed away from anything in your life. Wake up." And that's the end line. That's the end of the scene. And they say, when you look into the abyss looks back. And then he stars in History of Violence, which is a perfect microcosm or way of proving that the more you look into other people's lives, the more you hate your own. And that's why we dive into books. No, you delve. When you dive into a book, you're acting like an idiot. When you say delve, that's the right way to say it. D-E-L-V-E. So I've been staying 75% off at a hotel, at a suite. All week, I haven't washed my clothes all week. Slept in my car Saturday, Sunday. So as I was saying, I love my job. I don't consider myself above the law. I'm like that gay cop in Texas who sued for $200 million and won because he was told he was being too gay. That's me. That's how I like to do law enforcement and how I work the beat. So if you need to hire me, get at your boy. What'd you do today? Do you have a case of the Mondays? I tossed out a Depends. 2 of them. Don't worry, I changed my gloves. I'm going to invent glasses that don't fog, because I can't wear this mask without getting all foggy. And thirdly, I took a selfie in front of Black Angus. It's a steak joint. But I took the picture in front of the G, so it just says Black Anus. Sorry, I got a little excited when I said that. Black Angus. I have a Black Angus and I have a Black Anus, but not a black hole. I mean, it's more brown. Everybody has a brown eye. Everyone's hole is brown, no matter how white. Hello everybody, get down today. Hello everybody, get down today. Oh my goodness, I have the Eiffel Tower. I have a Chicago skyline as a hairdo. Man, that is styling. It looks like that guy right there, the Morty. I have the same exact haircut. You can't see it through the glass, can you? That Rick and Morty guy. So, check this out. I'm just learning about The only time animals rape animals, as according to the zoologist in this book, is in a zoo. No rapes happen in their natural habitat. 98 degrees, and I am talking about the boy band. I mean, how is it that 30-year-old break dancers could be calling themselves boys? I don't know. And I gotta say, we watched the uncut Zack Snyder, and Lex Luthor cannot be portrayed any more well than that Zuckerberg character, Jesse Eisenberg. I think he really did a grand slam. And lastly, on the police blotter, Vanessa Guillen, Ozzie Guillen's niece, was bludgeoned by a woman with bleached hair. It was like a light creamsicle orange. Her name is not Vanessa Guillen. People keep on mispronouncing her name. Nobody accepts Trump as president or a leader. Our president is not accepted as leader. It has nothing to do with who Donald is as a person. These looters are using blaxploitation. They're using Floyd as a scapegoat. And now we're playing both sides against the middle. And that's always been, honestly, the way that we've operated. Because not even our parents like us. Our parents hate us. So why would government or authority respect you? And especially if you don't respect them, because you think that they bear their bills and that you're a victim of status quo. That's not true. There's a lot of favoritism and preferential treatment to thugs. I've watched cops. If you have a certain tattoo, you get out of tickets all the time. So what we need is you guys need to get together. What time is it? Game time. They used to say that at the DMV. You got your game face on? Are you on the ball? They'd say, yeah, you gotta calm down. I fucking love my job, man. I love it. It is 4:19. It's about almost 4:20. I just got my Hulk drink, and all this moon rocks they said there was mushrooms in there, but I have no idea. They don't sell shrooms at the head shop. But just a blast from the past. There used to be a movie called Not Indecent Proposal, but with Sarah Michelle Gellar, where she tells her stepbrother, can't remember the name, Cruel Intentions. Van, I'm just following the beat of my own heart. I mean, I'm following my heart, the beat of my own drum. That's all we could do. And I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but it's tricky because they call it a new normal, and it's a median. That's ultimately what that means. So, having this freckle in the middle of my nose, it doesn't help. But that's kind of my compass. So take it for what it is, or continue trying to help me. I know we're all here for each other, and sometimes lithium could feel as if there's just too much. It feels like, you got to shake it off. You have something on your back because there's just too much love, and it's that lithium. It makes you see it makes it tinted, right? Hoorah sounds way eerily similar to woosah. Just clocked in JB Hunt. Oh, I'm on a sliding toilet seat. Never seen one of those before. My 4th week, I'm finally allowed inside. Went to the Marriott this morning after fighting with my sister, because she keeps blocking me on Facebook, it's just the opposite. I feel like she's revoking my right to freedom of speech, that's all. They had no lotion, and then at the Marriott before that, they had no Q-tips. Well, at both Marriotts, actually. And that's about it. Just gonna log and just. Hey, do you mind if I Snapchat you? Sure. I'm watching the movie The Firm, and they're prosecuting a black man for killing 83 Americans, right? Charging him for indirectly for killing, right? Which is Nick Fury, right? And when they're conducting the case, they say, when they go to interview the people in Yemen, which a lot of people think that's in Africa, but it's not. I think it's a part of Syria. Tommy Lee Jones says, hey, you speak English? We need you to be an accomplice. Do you speak? Why are you asking? Revenge is a dish served cold. That's Winston Churchill. But Tupac said revenge is the next thing next to vagina. So does that mean that Tupac's a rapist? I mean, I think personally the microphone is the closest to a rape. But I'm reading this book about rape, and it says that that's what rape is a gateway drug. Rape is a gateway to drugs, and the reason why people do drugs is because they want to be raped. So I just think it's funny because the majority of comedians are treated as felons, and felons can never get actual gainful employment. So who's getting raped, men or women? Come November, the chips will fall. Fall as they may, as Joker said to Christian Bale. When the chips fall, the people will show you their true colors. Tupac also said the puzzle's left on the ground, and Tyler Durden said, let the chips fall where they may. This November, we will free the nipple. Trump, if you know what rump means, if you watch Dennis the Menace, when Walter Matthau called the blonde a rump, anybody from the 80s would know a rump is a keister. And so, I'm intellectually endowed, and I have almost 5,500 followers on my Trump group, so I know what I'm saying. The rump will be gone come November. I'm sorry I've been so hard on everybody. I'm raising my voice now. I'm owning it, as women are always screaming at me to do. I'm just stressed out financially or fiscally, because if I had money, a lot of my girlfriends, they say, oh, you're too charitable, you're too pro bono, you donate everything you have, you're my friend Angel, don't give me all your marijuana. I personally don't think that that's a drug. I think it's a medicine, and I spent at least $100,000 on medicine. I'm like, that Ricky movie with fucking Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey. But anytime anybody asks me, I buy them, I pay for them. I don't spend money on gambling. I always tip. I love taking women out. I mean, I spent at least 10 grand on my girlfriend, 10 grand. If men have wing men, if I have a wing man, do you have a wing woman? Or a wing nut? Are there wing women? I mean, in the cockpit, there's stewardesses. I mean, who's on the wing? There's something on the wing. Something. Hey everyone, happy 420. I'm celebrating by buying all the standards in my dispensary. I don't know where the clock is. You just have to. There it is. 420. I just think it's funny how Trump somehow is able to put a chokehold on everybody and is able to be a barometer on all of our oxygen intake. This guy is certainly an emperor, or at least he has invited us to live in his empire, because this guy is larger than life. He puts megalomaniacs to shame. he makes it as if everybody feels the need to chime in, and it's usually women with very low cut shirts. It's men with tight up collars and women with blouses that are like this, and then everyone starts screaming, "Oh, it was his fault. It was her fault. I could fall in love right here." What up, Commodore? As you can see, I'm fucking cleaning the goddamn nature preserve or whatever. I just thought I'd report for duty to Snapchat. I'm now walking backwards. That's one of my favorite things to do as an officer. If you watch the new Michael Jordan documentary, Phil Jackson calls it the Ohio, walking backwards. Because it's important to be present and an outsider at the same time. And on that note, some delivery man dropped off a bag of probably like a BLT. So last time I take my breath away. By the way, Cher has the greatest rack. I think she sang that, right? Take my breath away. I am floored. Look at this. I'm getting paid for this. I am floored. I'm taken aback. My hair is blown. My socks are blown off. I am truly captivated. Like a knuckle sandwich. Hello. Hello. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Want to take a bath? Want to take a bath? Let's take a. Anytime this accidental wetback crashes into the banks of the seashore, the accidental wetback, every time this accidental foreigner gets his wings, my wetback crashes into the banks of the shore. No, it has to be, you have to be the foreigner, and I have to be the wetback. Kaleidoscopes are similar to when you go to the pier and you have to pay a quarter. It's not a telescope, but it's almost like as if it's a shutter, a picture shutter. That's how the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, up until B. Obama. And then we started going into the under the microscope and looking at everything as a magnifying glass. But that's one of my proudest achievements, is being 37 and old enough to know where I've come from, when we used to be very headstrong and think for ourselves, and now it's just a broken mirror. And that's what you learn in film school. Reality is the mirror and art is the hammer that breaks it. So I love being island. We're gonna take over this world while these haters getting mad. On Compton Avenue. Compton! Staying in there. Compton Inn. Compton Inn in Corona, of all places, where they make Monster energy drinks. See? Why is it okay for women to become bigger and bigger dykes? Do you know how hard it is to hit a 10-pound G-spot? It's practically impossible, okay? You could put a dildo on a fucking crossbow, on a fucking machine with an engine and a motor. Okay, women are fucking impossible, and they keep acting like these fucking dykes. And what do dykes do? Okay, they keep water out. Okay, they hold men back, and what do these dykes end up doing? These single moms end up pushing out these fucking half-a-fag men. Okay, you have all these fucking men walking with their tails tucked between their legs, and that's exactly what the time and days that we live in, and that's what I'm so upset about. Okay, why can't we man up? Why can't we stand up on our own 2 feet instead of pointing the fingers and saying, It's like, no, listen, I didn't sign up for this. You need to be able to. Is it true there's a Sonny Bono and a regular Bono?
Yes, sir. It is true.
Alright, so Sonny Bono died in a skiing accident, and regular Bono is the lead singer of U2.
There you go.
Right, Cupcake?